Hello and welcome back to Lord Fang Anime Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. I'm your host, Lord Fenton. In this Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 build video, we are doing the Jedi Consular Sith Lord build. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 builds like this. Do not forget to hit that notification bell to be updated much more. Here are the pros and cons of this build. Pros, the fact you're using dark side of force, you're going to have much more options with the dark side because your alignment's dark side, your dark side power will be much more cheaper. 2 words, force lightning, best offensive force power in the entire game. You have very high wisdom because you're a Sith Lord just like a Jedi Master, you'll be able to get influence much more easier. Now, cons of this build, your melee fighting is not that great despite the fact I have some feats and backup options. Your light side powers will cost more, especially those very nice buffs out there. And number 3, you really have to be evil in order to keep up with the max alignment. I'd say max dark side alignment. Let's go ahead and start with the character creation process. You can pick male or female for this build for a Jedi Consular. However, here's the difference. Males, they get handmaiden as a party member. Females, they get disciple. So you gotta remember, you gotta do very bad things to people, no matter what. You're a dark side character. You're a Sith. So as for portraits, remember this pretty face. It's gonna be very ugly soon. You can pick the KotOR one if you want to. I'm gonna pick the one that looks like Greg from Animal House. Good movie. Go watch it. Oh wait, I almost passed him. There you go. He's gonna be real ugly. So anyways, let's go over the attributes. First of all, we're going to do strength at 12. That's going to be our backup score for in case we have to just basically not use force powers. There's only 1-2 things like that in the game. You know it when you see it. Dexterity at 10. We'll keep it at 10, so this way no problems at all, no minuses. Constitution at 14. Well, that's going to be used to start out or wait to 18 for that. Intelligence to 14 for more skill points. We'll leave it at that. Wisdom to 14. That's going to be our bread and butter after we get Constitution 18 via level up. And Charisma, yeah, we're going to keep that 14. So this way you can switch between light and dark. It'll be a little bit less of a penalty using opposite alignment powers. But Wisdom will be our primary score to focus on equipment and such. So here's our review. Strength at 12. Dexterity 10. Some people switch it around, but I like it this way. Constitution at 14. We'll get that to 18 via level ups. Intelligence to 14. Wisdom to 14 as well. That's going to be bread and butter after Constitution's at 18. I'm repeating that again. That's important. And Charisma at 14 as well. So as for skills, we're going to go ahead and do it. It's just similar, you guessed it, to my Jedi Master build on that. So first of all, we're going to max out Persuade and Repair. Those two are important, number 1 and 2. Awareness and Treat Injury at, of course, 2. However, they'll be very high, so you don't have to miss out on anything else. Computer use and demolitions will keep at 1, so this way we'll survive the tutorial area and have easier time accessing computers and such. Now, as for feats itself, yeah, we're going to go ahead and start picking some. By the way, War Veteran, you get 25 Vitality points. Yeah, that's correct, folks. It doesn't show you, but I'll tell you that. Jedi Defense, you start out, if I remember correctly, on that, it gives you ability to deflect blasters. And there's another one there that definitely gives you defense based on a number of it. So let's go ahead and just leave that there for a few more seconds. And yeah, there's your Jedi defenses, deflection rolls and such. Force Focus, this gives you +2 for difficult class for saving throws and such. So this way our force power will be a little bit less likely to be resisted. Now Jedi Sense, this will boost up your defense. So every 6 levels after, you get another +2 defense automatically. This is some good stuff. Remember it. And also ability to use lightsabers as well. Unfortunately, we can't regenerate force points. That's later on as we level up. But for now, we could pick as duelist or dueling, I think it's called, but nah. I'm going to go ahead and do 2-weapon fighting. So this is our backup feat in case we're forced to fight. Normally you get -10, -6. And then, of course, it's -6, -6 if you have an offhand that's balanced. With this feat, it drops it down to -4 to -6 if you have the offhand balance. Otherwise, it's -6, -6. And that's about it. Go ahead and name your character. I'm naming it my favorite Sith character of all time. Yeah, you know who he is. If you don't know, go ahead and watch all the Star Wars movies from episode 1 to episode 9. You'll thank me later. Anyways, that's about it for leveling up from level 1. Let's go ahead and do the rest of the levels. Now it's time to go ahead and level up. This section will cover level 2 to 10. We'll start off with level 2 as your Jedi Consular. Just remember, you have to start doing bad things. Now, we're ignoring the unarmed specialist, but force sensitive, we'll talk about that in a bit. Put points awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. We're going to focus on those 4. 2 of them will be maxed out, the other 2 will be near maxed out. Still, they'll be very high. Just trust me on that. Now, first of all, we're going to go ahead and get a dark side power. My favorite line, Shock. Shock does is 1 to 6 points of damage per character level. Works on organics and droids. Remember that. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that feat. Force sensitive, you get 40 extra force points. You heard me right, 40. So add that to your total. You have a lot of force points with this build. Now we're going to level up to 3 on the Jedi Consular class, so definitely remember that. So let's go over that now. Let's go over skills. Finally, he has some clothes too. Let's put the points in the 4. That's what we're going to go ahead and call it. Make sure Persuade and Repair are maxed out. They're your bread and butter for this build. So let's go over feats. Okay, we cannot do 2-weapon fighting yet. We're not there. So let's see what else we could definitely pick. And we cannot do the regenerating force points. Much as I want to, but not now. Now, toughness does is you get 1 extra vitality point per level up. It's retroactive. So, for instance, you take this at 10. What happens is you get 10 extra vitality points. It can be a difference between life or death. So let's go over, of course, powers. This is one of my favorite ones too. Second favorite lines, actually. It's the fear line. So fear will lock a foe into place. If they don't resist, they'll be locked into place for a few seconds or so, enough for you to kill them. If they resist, then what happens is, of course, yeah, you guessed it, they nothing happens to them. So as the other one, burst of speed gives you is 2 defense, you move double movement speed. And oh yeah, by the way, fear, there are some foes that are immune to it, so be careful on that. But that burst of speed is good though for neutral powers. So now we're at level 4. Every character levels of 4. We get to ourselves, you guessed it, free attribute points. I'll remind people that. All my builds I do that for. So let's go ahead and put a point in Constitution. Why are we doing that? We get to 18. That's it. That's all the implants we could equip in the game. That's different than KotOR 1 where you have to pick feats. The Scout class you get them for free in that game. But not in this game. But still, put your point in Constitution. Put the points in the 4 like I did for skills. Now we get ourselves a force power again. This time it's just 1. Sometimes we get 2, other times we get 1. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. Force Scream does this, does 3 to 16 points of sonic damage. Reduce our enemies' attribute scores by 2. If they resist, they take half the damage, no attribute penalties. This works only on organics, not droids. So it's another good backup power to have against organics. Now we're at level 5, so let's keep on going. After this, we'll be halfway through the preteen levels. This is what we want, so let's keep on going. You're doing a lot of bad things, or starting to, so just remember the clouds start to be red. That's what you want to see is red. Put your points in the 4 like I did. Now let's go over, you guessed it, more powers. Let's see what we could grab. I'm going to go ahead and talk about slow. Slow does this slows your foes down. -2 defense, -2 reflex saves, -2 attack rolls. This is very good in case there's an annoying enemy who likes to run around. You slow him down. Then you could just kite him with some force powers or something like that. Good times. Now we're at level 6. So, yeah, we're starting to get the memo of doing bad things. Starting to learn how to stand back and just use your force lightning and such. So let's go ahead and do awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. Don't worry, they'll be all good anyways. So let's go over feats. Now, improved force focus is like this. You get +3 added to your difficult class for saving throws against the character's force powers and such. So yeah, in other words, less likely for them to resist your stuff. Regenerate force points. This does is regenerates force points a lot quicker. You're going to be using a lot of force points. You definitely want that. This is mandatory. Pick it. So let's go over force power. We get 2 this time. Let's go over horror. So what horror does is this is like an AoE version of fear. It locks them into place. If they don't fail their saving throws, then nothing happens to them. Just remember, some foes can resist this. So do be careful. Bosses like to resist that as well. They're immune to it. But it's good against the yard trash and stuff. Now, the other one I want to go ahead and get is, where is it at? Yeah, I'm just going over everything. Yeah, take your time, go over everything. Drain force. This does is drain 10 force points out of opponent. If they resist, you get 5 force points instead of 10. This is if you really need some force points. But we're going to go ahead and grab it. It's a good option. And there you go. Now we're at level 7, so things are looking down for us. Well, up. Depends on your perspective on the alignment tree. So do the 4 like I did: awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. And there you go. And let's go with powers. We get 1 power this time. Boo. So let's see what we could nab. Okay, we can't do force lightning. We're not level 9. So afflictions, this you still get the slow. However, you get the poison your foes, and of course, if they don't make the fortitude save, yeah, because they're poison, they lose about, if I remember correctly, I think it's 6 points of attributes they lose. Now we're at level 8, so every level of 4 you get yourself for free. You guessed it, attribute points like Christmas, something looking forward to. And yeah, we're having our alignment really good so far. Put your point in Constitution, so we're at 16 Constitution, so we get 2 more. Then we can move on to Wisdom. Put the points in the 4. Make sure Persuade and Repair are maxed out. So let's see here. So let's go ahead and pick a power. Okay, we cannot pick Force Lightning yet. Boo. Yeah, I know. Everybody likes that. So let's go ahead and check things out. And I'm going to go ahead and see where I can pick. Yeah, take your time looking. So let's go ahead and I think I'm going to go ahead and grab this one. Flick Mind does is opens up extra options in the dialogue menu when you're talking to certain NPCs. So this way you can persuade them to do things they normally do not do. Now be careful, sometimes a dark side alignment hit, which is a good thing. Now we're at level 9 for the Jedi Consular character, level 9. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's see what we could get. As for skills, awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. Remember the 2 to max out like I did, you'll be doing fine. Now, as for feats itself, I'm going to go ahead and do improve 2-weapon fighting. Now, if you have your main hand offhand not balanced on the offhand at least, then it's -4/-4 for to hit. Now, if you have a balanced weapon on the offhand, then that penalty is lessened, so it'll be -2 main hand to hit and -4 to offhand. This is just backup in case we can't use any force powers or in case we get extra auto attack. But still, it's good to have for that. So let's go ahead now. You guessed it. Let's see here what I want to get. I'm going to go ahead and do this story one, dominate mind early. This will open up a lot more options to persuade people. Now, your only main character can have this, but it's a great power to have. Opens up dialogues and such. The other one I want is Force Lightning. So this is like a frontal damage. So any enemies in front of you will take 1 to 6 points of damage per character level. They can resist that. They take half. Good luck resisting that with your Wisdom and Charisma high. Now we're at level 10. So we're finishing up the preteen levels. So for the Jedi Consular, let's go ahead and do it. And make sure you're below 75% for your alignment. It helps out greatly because you're going to class change at 15. Put the points in the 4. Make sure Persuade and Repair are maxed out, as always. Now, let's see what else we could get. Let's go ahead and look at some options. Now, Improved Force Scream is this. It does 5 to 30 points of damage, sonic-wise, against organics. And they lose 4 attribute points. Now, if they resist it, they take half the damage from there. However, they lose no attributes at all. It's a good alternative against, of course, organics. This section will cover level 11 to 15 last time as a Jedi Consular, so make sure your alignment for dark side is 75% or above. So pick the 4 for skills. Make sure Repair and Persuade, as always, is maxed out. Very important. So let's go ahead to the OK button. Now, as for powers, okay, it just tells you a lightsaber stance. Ignore it. We're not going to use it. There's a stance we're going to use. Anyways, let's pick a force power. Night speed, this gives you 4 defense and extra attack per round, and you still move double your movement speed. Best universal power in the game. Possibly the best because you buff yourself up. You get some goodies back with that. Now we're at level 12. Again, every level's a 4. You get yourself, you guessed it, a free attribute point. This is what we want. So we're still going to put our point into Constitution, so let's go ahead and do that. When we get that to 18, then stop there. So we're actually really close at this time. So let's go for skills. Awareness, Persuade, Repair, and Treat Injury. Yep, there you go. As for feats, Master Force Focus, that's what we get. So our difficult class will be +4 now, which is good. It replaces the previous 2. It's always active. Don't worry about using anything like that. So let's go ahead and do Master 2 Weapon Fighting. So now you get -2 to hit. Now, if you have a balanced weapon, for example, that drops down to nothing for the main hand to get penalized, and just -2 for the offhand to hit. We'll use that for something else. I'll explain when we get to the lightsabers. So now we get ourselves another stance. We'll go into that in greater detail. Insanity. So Insanity does this. It's a much more powerful version than Horror. It locks foes down. If they resist, nothing happens to them, but they cower their heads. If they do that, they're mobilized. They can't move at all. And it could do a sneak attack. Plague. It has a DC of 100, impossible to resist, basically. And now it does this, slows down your target. They lose 12 of their attribute points. And it's like 1 attribute point every 12 seconds. It's a very powerful debuff. By the time this wears off, your opponents are dead. Now and that's about it. So let's go over the, of course, the stance. Now this stance, okay, ignore that. Does is this: it regenerates your force points, +3 on your force power damage, and saves versus force power +2. Keep it active at all times until you get something better. Now we're at level 13. So we're closing in on finishing up the Jedi Consular class. So let's go ahead and do that. Put the points in the skills there. There you go. Make sure you have that on the 4. Ignore the lightsaber stance. We're using the purple orb thing instead. You know what you saw it. So let's do improved force drain. This does is drains a total of 20 force points from opponent if they resist it. And then it's shaved to 10. So it's like emergency, I need force points because I went crazy on force lightning or something like that. Now we're at level 14. Yep, that's right. We're finishing up this base class. And we're going to go ahead and do that. Ignore the unarmed specialists. We're not fist fighters. Handman can handle that. Put the points in the 4. Persuade and Repair. Obviously, you want maxed. Ignore the lightsaber stats. We're using the purple orb. So let's talk about, let's see what we could get. I'm going to look. Drain life. So drain life does this. It takes life from an opponent for 1 to 4 points for every character level. And if they resist, they take half of that. So it takes life from someone and you get healed for it. So it's a good thing. You can kill them off and that's it. No, they don't become zombies or something like that. Now we're at level 15. This is the very last level for Jedi Consular. So make sure you level up. If you have not got your dark side power, alignment up yet, then don't level to 16 until you do. Put the points in the 4. As for feats, I'm going to go ahead and at this time do is Improve Flurry. So Improve Flurry is like this. You get an extra attack. Drawback of that is -1 defense and -2 to attack, aka to hit. As we go further down this feat, yeah, the penalties will be gone. So it's already lessening. So it's a good thing. So let's go ahead and hit OK on this. And let's see here. Okay, what's next? Powers. Now we get 2 force powers to pick from. And no, we don't get Force Storm yet. Let's go ahead and pick this one. Master Speed is like this. It gives you force defense, 2 attacks per round, and you still have your double movement speed. Best universal power in the entire game for yourself. Might be the best overall force power. So the other one we're going to go ahead and do is... We can't do that one. Boo. Master Force Scream, you do 7 to 42 points of damage against organics. That's sonic damage. They lose 6 points of attributes. If they resist, no attribute points are lost, and they take half the damage. It's a good backup to have, or good to have until, of course, you get the Force Storm. And that's about it. Just remember, do not level up until you get your alignment there, and then talk to KotOR next. Now we're go ahead and go do the class change. So we got to talk to KotOR. Starting at level 15, that's what we did. Make sure you have 75% dark side powers and pick the Sith Lord. So let's go ahead and start with Sith Lord level 1. Jedi, character level 16. So every level of 4, you get yourself a free attribute point. Since we're at 16, levels of 4. Put that point in the Constitution. Now, next up for skills, put in the 4, Awareness, Persuade, Repair, and Treat Injury. So there you go. Now, I didn't put any points into Weapon Focus Lightsaber due to the fact that 16, you get Weapon Focus Lightsaber. So we get a free feat already. Now, do Weapon Specialization Lightsaber. You could do that. But let's talk about Prestige Senses. So you get +2 defense on level 1. Area 8 levels. In this Prestige class, you get +2 more defense. Dark Side Corruption. It makes people more easily who's more dark side to get more dark side alignment for down the rabbit hole, or if they're more light side, more likely to resist you. In other words, like for example, T3M4, that little droid. Yeah, it'd be less likely to corrupt that little droid. You get the point. It's good for influence. Weapon Specialization Lightsaber. Now, Focus gives you +1 damage. With lightsabers, this gives you +2. That's what you want. Now, as for powers, we get Crush Opposition. Now, if I miss it, I'll try to go over it again at some point. But we get 2 remaining points. What we're going to do is Force Valor and Night Valor. So Force Valor gives you +2 when you buff everybody up in attribute points and saving throws. Night Valor gives you +3 in attributes and saving throws, and immunity to poison. Why it's effective? All 20 seconds. It's a light side power, so it'll cost more. And it's great for skills and such. Now, let's go over that power. Crush Opposition. The targets suffer -1 to hit, -1 to future saving throws. Enemies can resist that. This lasts 45 seconds. Now, here's the deal. If you go light side, you cannot use this power anymore. But it's used just as a nice debuff. And it's not like the other one where it buffs everybody up, but this is a debuff towards foes. Remember that's the cost of light side powers. And that's about it. Now we're getting ourselves to character level 17. We're still on the path of the Sith Lord. That's what we want to do. So we're really corrupted at this point. So put the points in the 4 like I did. Persuade and Repair should be at 20. Good news. Now let's go ahead and max out Valor line. So Master Valor gives you 5 points in saving throws and attribute points, and also immunity to poison. Light side power will cost more, but it's a party favor. One of the good light side powers to have for yourself to buff up, especially if you're a Sith Lord or a Jedi Master. Now we're at level 18, so we're doing some really bad things. That's what we really want to do. So let's go ahead and do skills. So let's go ahead and do all this, and there you go. Let's select all those, and let's go to feats. Ignore unarmed specialists. We're not fist fires. Master Flurry, so you get your extra attack when you use this feat. No penalties. No minus to defense, no minus to hit. And it's a great offensive feat. In case you can't use force powers, there you go. Now, Force Storm is like this. It does 1-6 points of damage around everybody per character level. Yeah, they can resist it. They take half. However, this is one of the most powerful dark side powers in the entire game. And just trust me, it scales up really nicely for your character. Now we're at level 19, so we're doing some bad things as a Sith Lord. You heard me right. We're making make people's lives miserable. So let's put the points in the 4 like I did. There you go. As for powers, let's see here what powers we could get. Now, Master Drain Force is this. It drains force points around everybody, gives them to you. You get 30. Now, if your foes resist that, they get half. So as for wound, this does is this. It does a certain amount of damage, and of course, every 2 seconds they lose some physical attributes. But if they resist it, nothing happens. It only works on organics. Now we're at level 20. Every level of 4, you get yourself a free attribute point. So we're finishing up the teen levels, starting on the 20s. Since we got Constitution up there, from this point on, we're putting all points into Wisdom. Wisdom's going to be our bread and butter from here on out for force powers, force damage, and more. Awareness, Persuade, Repair, and Treat Injury. Put a point in each of those. There you go. Crush Opposition 2. That gives you -2 to attack. And, of course, -2 will saves. Now, Choke is like this. The attacker takes 2/3 of their hit points, used as damage. Your foes are choking, holding their neck, trying to breathe. Then you lose some physical attributes along the way, like -4 to Constitution, Dex, and Strength. If they resist, then they're organic as well. Nothing happens. Droids does not get hit by that. Now there's your Crush Opposition 2. Like I said before, -2 to hit and -2 to will saves. Everybody around it suffers. You're making everybody suffer. That's a great and wonderful thing. Let's go ahead and get to the 20s. This section will cover level 21 to 30, so if you did not do any EXP farming tricks at all, up to 30 will be the cap. So let's put the points in awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury for skills. Now, as for feats itself, what we're going to do is improve toughness. So improved toughness is like this. Any damage over 20 vitality points, you shave off 10% of that damage because of this feat. You still get the pre-feat bonus, which is a good thing. So let's go ahead and select that, and there you go. Now, as for powers, let's see what we could get. Now, what we're going to do is kill. It takes up to almost the target's half of their vitality points. They're held in a place. Now, if they resist this, nothing happens. Now, this only affects organics, not droids. It's a good single target attack. It helps out weaken them big time, and that's about it. Now we're at 22. Yep, you heard me right. Let's go ahead and level that up. And as you see, yeah, we're getting more dark side alignment. Ignore that. We don't need that. Awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury for skills again. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else we could get. And let's go ahead and grab. Make sure you go over everything seriously. Now, force push does is pushes opponent back from 5 meters or so. They're stunned for 3 seconds. If they're stunned, they're able to be sneak attacked. And the other one I want to definitely get is that one. Yep, and that's about it. Now, let's go to level 23. So we're moving on along nicely. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. As for skills, awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. Obviously, that's the 4 for those who are coming in. So let's go to powers. Let's go ahead and select this one. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get Death Field. Now, Death Field will take from everybody around them 1 to 4 points of damage they for a character level they lose their life on around them. And that's about it. It gets to you. They can resist it. They could take half. Now, Force Whirlwind is a much more powerful version than Force Push. They get stun lock if they don't resist. If they resist, nothing happens. So now we're at, you guessed it, level 24. Every character levels a 4. You get yourself a free attribute point. Put that point into wisdom. We're going to start building up that wisdom until we get to 22, I believe is the max for that. Now let's put the points there. Now as for feats itself, let's go ahead and do that. Now master toughness is this. You get 1 extra vitality point per level up. Retroactive. You still get the other previous 2 feats. Now if you would take this at, for example, 20 with the other 2 feats, 1 and 3, you get 40 vitality points. Force Wave, this will create a kinetic explosion around you, pushes all enemies back. Now they'll be on the ground, stunned for 6 seconds. Someone like Atten could do a sneak attack. Very powerful stuff, a nice neutral power. And we get another Crush Opposition. Now this time around, let's make sure. So now the second one is -2 to hit and -2 to attack, but now you do is -3 to hit and -3 to will saves. Yeah, so it's -3 to hit and -3 to will saves for everybody around him. So cast that sucker, weaken him, then go to town with dark side powers. You'll thank me later. Also great to couple it with insanity. Now we're at level 25. After this level, we're halfway through the levels. 50C hardcore cap. Skills, put in the 4 like I did. Make sure persuade and of course repair is maxed out. Now let's go ahead and pick some powers. So we got the push line done. Battle meditation. So when you cast this, everybody in your party gets +2 to attack, +2 to damage, and +2 will saves, and also a faster way to regenerate vitality points as well. Very powerful buff. Remember to abuse it. Now we're at level 26. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see what we could get. Ignore the unarmed specialists. We're not fist fighters. Nope. Let's put the points into 4, and there you go. Now we get 1 force point to pick. Now, in improved battle meditations, this you get the same previous stuff for your party members. However, it spreads to your enemies. Now, if they don't successfully do a will save, they get -2 to attack, -2 to damage, and -2 to will saves extra, which is a good thing. Couple it with crush opposition, you're golden. Now we're going to go to level 27 character level wise, so we're doing good for the Sith Lord. Now let's go for skills, and there you go. Voila. Now persuade and repair, make sure they're at 30. Now let's go ahead and pick some nice feats, everyone. Let's do is regenerate vitality points, so increase our healing rate, so we don't have to wait. We don't have to use our force powers more, especially if we get to heal later on, because it costs a lot with the light side. Now, in Master Battle Meditation, the other one was approved, but Master now gives you to plus 4 damage, plus 4 to hit, plus 4 to will saves, and regenerating vitality points. Now, your foes, they get, if they don't say in a will save, they get -4 to hit, attack. -4 to hit, damage, and of course, will saves. Now, Force Suppression is a buff remover. It will only remove the first 2 tier of Force buffs and the first 3 of the Jedi Master buff. Very good stuff. By the time you debuff your enemies, they buff again. By the time they keep on buffing, they die. Now we're at level 28. Every level of 4, you know it, attribute points. So let's go ahead and abuse that sucker. Put that into wisdom. So we'll have 17 wisdom. Let's do it. Yep, there you go. And let's go to skills. Awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. Let's go to powers. Crush opposition 4. That is -4 to attack, -4 will saves on your foes. So one foe gets it, around them they also get suffer too. Now let's go ahead and see which one I want to pick. I'm going to go ahead and start the stun droid line. This will stun one droid for 12 seconds. They take some damage. Will saves, if they save it or stuff like that, like such for droids, they take half damage, they don't get stunned. Good thing. Unfortunately, I didn't show you opposition 4. But yeah, I'll show you, I'll talk about that again. That will give you your opponents -4 to hit and -4 to will saves. And like I said before, you couple it with battle meditation and insanity and let the good times roll. Then you go crazy with force lightning. Now we're at level 29, so we're doing good for a Sith Lord. And our alignment's really getting up there. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, more you level up in the Sith Lord, more your alignment shifts a lot more. Disable droid. This is a AoE version of the stun droid. And your droids will take a certain amount of damage, or say droid opposition. They get stunned. Now if they resist, they take half damage and they negate the stun. Very useful against annoying droids. Stun them, and then that's it. It's a light side power, but it's good to have. Now we're at level 30. We're going to start the 30s with level 30 exactly. So let's go ahead and do that. Even things up as well for the classes. Put the points into 4. Persuade and repair must be maxed. As for feats, ignore the unarmed specialist. We're not fistfire. Handmaiden could do that. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and look. Take your time looking. I always do. Let's go ahead and see which one we want. We got the toughness line that is done. Now, dual strike is this. If you and a party member target the same target, you get the +2 bonus to hit. So this is a good backup in case we're forced to melee foes or so. But it's a nice option. Destroy droid. This is a very powerful version than the previous one. It locks them into place. They take some massive damage. If they resist, they take half, negating the stun. But it's good to have. It's a light side power, but that's alright. This section will cover level 31 to 40, starting with level 31. So if you did any EXP farming tricks, you could be able to cap it out. Let's do awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. The 4, I call it, for those you coming in. Now, as for powers, where we got the battle meditation line done, let's go ahead and talk about Force Breach. It removes all force powers that are buffing up your opponent. It's a great debuffer. It strips them all, they buff again, they keep on buffing, they die. Simple as that. Now we get another power to pick. And I feel like I'm going to go ahead and start the, let's see here. Yeah, there's some choices I have to make. Force resistance, this does is gives you ability to resist all force powers for 60 seconds if you've passed a certain DC check or a direct challenge check. If that happens, well, no force powers can hit you or damage you, which is good. Now we're at level 32. Every level of 4, you get yourself a free attribute point. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's do his wisdom. You heard me right. Let's do that one. Now, next up is put in the 4. There you go. Pause the video if you need to. Now let's go over our powers. Crush Opposition 5. That's -5 for will saves and -5 to hit on your opponents. Again, couple it with some nice force powers. Now, force immunity is it gives you DC 15 versus your opponent or so. And if you win the challenge, then of course no force powers will hit you for exactly 60 seconds. It's better than the other one. And there you go. Let's move on to the next level. Now we're at level 33, and we're still at the Sith Lord path. And there's your Dark Side Mastery, 50 plus force points. Awareness, Persuade, Repair, and Treat Injury. Let's go ahead and do that. As for feats, let's see here. We're starting to scrape the bottom barrel, but that's alright. Improved Dual Strike. This gives you a +4 bonus to hit if you and your team member attacking the same target. Now, this is a situation you can't use force powers. You have to melee your way out. Well, that 2 hit's going to help you. Now, let's pick another force power. Let's see what we could get this time. Let's check things out. Take your time in looking, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Energy Resistance is shaves off the first 6 points from the following damage type: Energy, Sonic, Fire, Cold, and Electric. It's a self buff, but it's good. Now, next up, we're at level 34. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's see here. Let's select that. As for skills, Awareness, Persuade, Repair, and Treat Injury, the 4. Let's go with the powers. We get another power. Now, Improve Energy Resistance. This is party-wide now. Shaves off 12 points of damage from elemental ones I just mentioned in the previous one. And it's a good one. So let's go ahead and do that. And there you go. After that, we'll level up again. So let's go ahead and finish this level first. And there. Now we're at level 35. So after this, we're halfway through the 30s. So let's go ahead and do this. Pick the 4. Yeah, just go ahead and do it. Sorry, no feats. Yeah, you get less feats as a heavy force user. Now this one, Master Energy Resistance, is this. Shaves off 20 points of damage from, again, Sonic, Fire, Cold, Electric, and such. And also blaster attacks as well. They add that. Party favor. So now we get another force power to select. So let's go ahead and do defense. This gives you a +2 defense and +2 to saving throws. So it's a light side power. Costs a little bit more, but that defense is going to help you out greatly if you really need some more defense. That's about it. Now we're going to get to level 36. We're going to start the second half of the 30s. So stick with me on that. Let's get our attributes. On every level of 4, you get a free attribute. Let's put that in Wisdom. As for skills, into the 4. Make sure Persuade and Repair are always maxed out. It's at 39. We're almost at 40 on those. We'll be able to craft everything in the 4 anyway, so that's a good thing. Now let's do Master Dual Strike. You get +6 bonus to hit if you and your same party members attack the same target. Again, great against bosses. It's another backup option in case we can't use any force powers or so. Or a foe has a force immunity. We have to resort to that. Now, Force Shield, this gives you +4 bonus to defense and all saving throws as well. It's a light side power, costs a little bit more, but it'll help out greatly for buffing you up. Now we're going to get our character, you guessed it, the level 37. So let's go ahead and hit that nice level up button. As for skills, put it in the 4. Oh wow, both Persuade and Repair are now at 40. Now Force Armor gives you +6 bonus to defense and also +6 to all saving throws. Good thing, that should do it for this level. Now we're going to get to level 38, so let's go ahead and do just that. Let's see here. As for skills, let's go put in the 4 there. There you have it. Okay, let's select that. And let's see powers. We got the defense line done, force defense, so let's go ahead and do this one. Stun, this will stun lock your foes in a position. Now, if they resist, nothing happens. And also, some foes can resist it because either they're immune to it or they're Jedi Sentinels. And that's about it for this level. Now we're at level 39, so let's get our Sith Lord going. Yep, so we're permanently on that path. Put in the 4, so everything should be above 40 or at 40. All right, everyone, we get ourselves another feat. This is good news indeed. So let's see here what we get. We got the team attack one done, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and do is this one. Conditioning gives you +1 bonus to all saving throws, which is really good. So we're going to start with the saving throw feats, get that out of the way. As for powers, let's see here. All right, let's take a look. Now we're going to do a stasis. This is a much more powerful version. Single line, lock foes into place. And stasis field, everybody around them gets locked down. Now if they resist, nothing happens to them. It does affect droids, but it locks down organics. It's another backup in case we can't use insanity. So it's a light side power, costs more, but it's good to have in the toolbox. Now we're at level 40. Every level's a 4. Once again, free attribute points. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm really happy about that. Put that sucker in the wisdom. You have 20 wisdom now. So this is good news. So our wisdom will be really up there. As for skills, put in the 4 like I did. And there you all go. Now for powers, since we got the stasis line done. Now we're going to go ahead and do heal. Now heal does is this. Heals 5 vitality points. And then every vitality point you add with a critical modifier. So if you have 10 critical modifier, you get heal 15, everybody in your party. It's a light side power, costs more, but it's good to have a healing option for heavy force builds like this. This section will cover level 41 to 50, starting out with level 41. So let's go ahead and do it. Now let's put in awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. We're getting those to 50 at least. So let's go ahead and do is improve heal. This does is 15 vitality points for everybody, plus 1 every charisma modifier. Wisdom modifier, and also your current level. You heal a lot. It costs more to use, but hey, you heal. That's what's important, right? Now we're at level 42. So let's go ahead and do that. We already did enough bad things, so much that everybody's crying. Let's go ahead and put in the 4 for the skills. So let's see here. Improved conditioning is this. Instead of +1 to all saving throws, now it's +2. Replaces the previous feat. It's good to have, so more saving throws is always a plus. So now we're going to do is Master Heal. So Master Heal heals 15 vitality points plus 1 point every charisma and wisdom modifier and 2 times your level. You heal a lot more, plus poison and stun effects go bye-bye. So great if your allies are stunned, pop this and that's it. It'll cost more to use, but you know what? You get to heal yourself. That's all right on that. Now we're at 43, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and select that. There. Let's put in the 4, and there you go. Shouldn't be too hard. And there. Now let's go ahead and do some powers. Let's see what else we could get. Now, Revitalize does this, or revive one ally that's down. When they get revived, they get 5% more vitality points. Now, the improved version, everybody who's down, they get revived. It'll cost more to use, but hey, you get a free res spell, right? Now we're at level 44. One of the last 2 levels of 4 gets yourself a free attribute point. So let's go ahead and level up now. Attributes, we're going to put in the wisdom. By the time this is over, 22 wisdom unbuffed. Well, let's go ahead and put points into that. There you go for the 4. Of course, that's the skills. And Master Revitalize, instead of 5% they get back, when you revive everybody who's fallen, they get 10% of vitality points back. Unfortunately, the light side power costs more, but that's alright. It's restricted by armor, so definitely wear robes. In fact, I'm suggesting to wear robes for this build. Now we're at level 45, so after that, we're halfway through the 40s. That's what you want to hear, right? Let's go do awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. Let's do feats, shall we? Now, for feats, as we're new is Master Conditioning. This gives you +3 bonus to all saving throws. This is a good thing. So, more saving throws you have, more likely you get to resist certain effects. So, Revitalize is now done. So, let's see what we could do next. And we're going to go ahead and do is, let's go ahead and check things out. Force Barrier, it's a light side power, but it shaves off 4 points of blunt, piercing, and slashing damage. It's a self buff for yourself, but it's good to have. Again, it's a light side power, so it costs more. Now we're at level 46, so let's go ahead and just do it. Let's hit that button. Skills, awareness, persuade, repair, and treat injury. There you go. And let's see what else we could do. Now we're going to do is this one, improve force barrier. This gives you first 8 points damage to slash off from blunt, piercing, and slashing. Light side power uses a lot more, but you know what? If you need to shave some that off, that is fine as well. Let's go ahead and hit the OK button. And that's about it for this level. Now we're at level 47. So, yeah, we're doing some serious damage thanks to Force Storm, Crush Hope, Crush Wills, Crush everything. You get the point. I'll put in the 4 for the skills. Now we're going to do is Master Force Barrier. So this does chase first 15 points of blunt, piercing, slashing damage. Again, light side power, it'll cost more to use, but that's all right. I like to this one throw Lightsaber. So throw Lightsaber does does 1 point. I think it's 1 to 6 points of damage for every 2 levels. You throw your Lightsaber at 1 target. It's good to have to troll your enemies with. So let's go ahead and select that, and that's about it for this level. Now we're at level 48. Again, levels of 4. Get yourself a free attribute point. This is the last time to do it, so make sure you do this right. Put the point into Wisdom. So you should have 22 Wisdom unbuffed. This is what you want, okay? Let's go ahead and do Awareness, Persuade, Repair, and Treat Injury. Persuade and Repair are above 50. That's great. So now we get to do is Advanced Jedi Defenses. This gives you +3 for all deflection rolls. Makes it much more easier to deflect blaster attacks against you. That's what we want, folks. Let's go ahead and the OK button. Let's see here. Powers. Only ones we could do is really Force Body. So Force Body is this. It fuels your Force powers up. However, it costs 50% of your Vitality points and Force powers to use. And it's not bad buff to have. Now we're get to level 49. We're closing at 50. 50 is a hardcore cap of the game. After that, you can't level up once you pass 50. Get to 50, I should say. Awareness, Persuade, Repair, and Treat Injury. Everything should be above 50 now, so this is great. Now what we do is improve Force Body. So instead of 50% Force powers and health, you should have 40% on that for the penalty. But it's good, though. You still have the same effect of fueling your Force powers, which is a good thing. So let's go ahead and do that, and that should do it for this very level. Now we're at level 50. This is the last time, so make sure you do everything right. All skills, everything else as well. Let's hit that button. Let's do is Awareness, Persuade, Repair, and Treat Injuries, and there you go. Make sure you check everything. As for powers, we're going to do is Master Force Body. Now the penalty is now 30% Force points and 30% Vitality. However, it still feels your Force powers do more damage and such. Now with that, you are done leveling up from 1 to 50. That should be it, everyone. Next part of this build video is, you guessed it, suggested party members. So let's get to that now. Let's go over suggested party members. Atton's a great addition. If you stun lock foes, sneak attack, boom, kills them instantly. Balador's alright as a fist fire, but he's more of a crafter, so leave him on the ship. Mandalore's a good melee frontline fire as well, great to use. Handmaiden's good, but more better with the Chani setup, since her fist could do a lot more damage. Disciple's okay if you go either way with force use or melee, up to you on that. Kray's a great addition if you want to go double force power usage. Same thing with Vista in case you can't use Kreia for the wisdom part. If you go balancing, that's alright. Handhard's a wonderful addition to have, but the armor is the downside. If you have a mod, you could definitely want Mira as well. T3M4 is a good light side character, but not for this build, but still get that influence up for extra wisdom points. HK47 for the dialogue, alright, party member. Again, get that influence up for HK47 to max things out. Gelder's okay, but I'd probably leave the droid behind. So I'd probably say Atton or use Kreia or one of the melee frontline fighters. So next up is gear advice. Now for gear, I'm going to have to go over this like I always do. Now in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, drops for the most part are RNG, random on generation. So in other words, you find quest rewards, MD drops, shops, or in containers. With this build, we're going to focus mainly on wisdom. We're going to use the, I call it MMO trick. So in other words, we're going to focus when we upgrade our lightsabers with crystals, put wisdom in it, and such like that. So first, let's go over equipment that we could definitely wear. And yeah, by the way, we're using only robes for this build. So if you're looking for armor, you're not going to get any. Let's go over the implants first. Mental Boost D package. This gives you +3 wisdom, intelligence, and charisma. Good news is it requires 18 constitution use, which we do have with this build. That's unbuffed, by the way. If you cannot find any of those, look for the low versions of those. And next up is the headgear. You want the force focusing visor. This gives you +4 charisma and +4 wisdom, plus also regenerates 2 force points. This is real good. You can't get the light side one to get because you can't use it because it gives you +5 wisdom, but that's alright. This is a great substitute. Now, if you cannot find any of those, or RNG is a total, pain in the butt, look for anything with immunities or has wisdom in it. So let's move on to the next set of equipment. For the gloves, you want the Jedi meditation gloves. This gives you awareness +2, also dexterity +2, and wisdom +2. Can't find any of those, look for the low version of those or anything with wisdom in it. Here's the arms and shields. Your character name's Armband. This gives you +1 constitution. This is at the Pelgus 2 crew quarters. It's on that ship. This isn't a foot locker. Your character stopped there saying, I want to raid my quarters. Go ahead and raid it. Now, the other arm you want is the Verpine prototype shield. Absorbs the following for 170 points total. Energy, sonic, cold, heat, and electric. Also, another good one is the Mandalorian power shield, which absorbs over 100 points in blunt, piercing, and slashing. Up to you on the ear shields you want. Let's move on to the belt. Now, for the belt, you want the Jedi Mentor belt. +2 wisdom and 20 plus points in force resistance. Very good stuff. You cannot find this belt, look for any other wisdom types. If you're unlucky, go straight for resistant type belts. Now, let's move on to the robes. Now, for the robes, I felt like this is the best one. Osiris Keeper robe. Now, you find this at the Alderaan Museum. When you start the tail end of the Civil War, it's usually a 100% drop. It has the following: defense bonus +1, +2 charisma, +4 intelligence, and importantly, +4 wisdom. Now, you want to use the upgrades for the overlay. You want the armor plating overlay 2, +1 reflex, saves, and also +4 stealth. Good news is it requires repair 11 to craft. You could craft it. Now, for the underlay, you want the environmental underlay 5. That is 30% versus cold and fire. Resist 10 slash versus cold and fire. Shaves off usually first 10 points in that. Requires demolition 26 to craft. Have someone like Atten or even that annoying little droid T3M4 to craft it for you. Another good one if you want to go that option, if you can, is the NG resist one. If you cannot find the Osiris Keeper robes, or you gave it to Kreia, yeah, go for the Jedi Master robes until you get these robes or so. Let's move on. Of course, next section, lightsaber vice. Now, let's go ahead and go over lightsaber crystals. The tactics behind this time for really using each of the lightsabers, put wisdom in it. In other words, is we're definitely go ahead and do it. Now, for the first crystal, your name crystal, it levels up with you via Kreia, also your alignment as well, or finding it when it's at a high level. Now, the location of this crystal is on Dantooine in the Crystal Cave. Now, reason why I put the other crystal there, because your name crystal for dark side users has strength, dexterity, and charisma. It doesn't have wisdom in it. So, yeah, that's one crystal you want. The other one you want is the Kyber crystal. This gives you +3 constitution, +3 wisdom, very important on that, and +3 in regeneration. Now, I cannot find any of the other ones, then look for something with wisdom on it. But make sure you get your name crystal. That is really important. Let's move on to the upgrades for your lightsaber. It's time to go over for upgrading your lightsaber in the main hand. For energy cells, you want the ultimate dilithium energy cell, 5 energy damage. This requires 29 computer use to craft. Have someone like Atten or anyone in the droids do that for you. For emitters, you want the expert fencing emitter, +5 defense bonus, 3 energy damage, requires 27 repair to craft. You could craft it yourself. For the lenses, you want the Pontai lenses, +1 attack, 2 to 12 energy damage, requires 27 awareness to craft. You could craft it yourself. Now let's go over the offhand. This is going to be different than my Jedi Master build due to the reason that, unfortunately, again, the main hand, your name crystal didn't have it. So if you have another Kyber crystal, install it in your offhand as well. Again, +3 Constitution, important +3 Wisdom, and +3 Health Regeneration. Here's another crystal you want. It's a Dark Side crystal, Quinoxi crystal. I might mispronounce it, but oh well. +5 energy damage, regenerate force points by 1. It goes up by. Dark Side users only. So if you're a light side user, try to use it. No. This build, your Dark Side, so you have it. Where to find this exactly? This is in the Izzy Cantina on the planet Alderaan. Now, that's that cantina where you're asking about who got murdered. You know where it's at when it happens. Trade one of your starport visas to Sakari for it. She's the female there saying, I have items for you. I need a starport visa. Get the crystal. When you do this transaction, you get dark side points. You need dark side points. Totally worth it. You cannot find any of these crystals. Look for ones that has wisdom or charisma in it. Let's talk about the offhand lightsaber upgrades. Now for the offhand, you want the energy cell, ultimate dilithium energy cell, same as before for the main hand. Emitters, you want the expert fencing emitters, same thing as before. Lenses, the Pontine lenses as well. That's about it for gear and lightsaber advice. Next up is combat and tactics. In this combat demonstration, as always, you want to make sure you lock down your targets. When they're locked down, buff in between. Now, for you encounter them beforehand, buff, then of course lock them down. Use the crush oppression to help you out greatly to lower your foes' will save, so this way they have less likely to resist your force storm. Once your foes are definitely locked down, and when that is done and over with, start up with force storm. So basically the battle is over before it actually begins, because most of your foes are locked down. Kreia messed up a little bit, that's alright. We're just going to go ahead and fry them. And the battle is over really quickly. So definitely remember to buff up either before or during the lockdown phase. After that, force storm away. If they resist force storm, use other dark side powers to help you out greatly. I'm going to go over some final advice. Now, when you do start out, you're going to be a little bit weak, but you're going to build up really quickly. Once your constitution's at 18, you start building up that wisdom. You're going to be very powerful. Lock down your enemies. Once they're locked down, then of course buff yourself up if you need to. Now, for your stances, use the purple orb until you get the story ones, which is better. I'm using the potency one. Due to the fact I do more damage, it costs more force points to use, but that's alright. I have so many. Now, do not be afraid to use light side powers with this build because you have so much force points. Yeah, you get penalized, but that's alright. Just remember, with this build, you're a dark side user. It'll cost a lot less to use Force Storm. And yeah, Force Storm is your bread and butter for this build. You're going to do a ton of damage. This is it for my Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 Jedi Consular Sith Lord build video. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Thanks for watching and have a great day or night. And do please stay safe. Please subscribe to my channel for more Star Wars content just like this. If you like what you see, then pick my suggestion on the upper left hand corner or YouTube's suggestion on the bottom left hand corner. May the Force be with you.